Welcome to another listen of Where Silence Has Something to Say. Today we're stepping into a word that's been stretched, twisted, and over spiritualized until it barely resembles anything in the Bible. A word that has shaped entire belief systems and yet, in the Hebrew scriptures, looks nothing like what we inherited. You've probably been told your whole life that you're in a battle you cannot see, that every hardship is an attack, that every struggle is a demon. This is warfare, right? Or is it? What if the Bible never calls it that? What if the warfare we've been taught to fight isn't warfare at all? So, what then is warfare? I'm glad you asked. Warfare is never a spiritual battle. It's never a defensive posture. It's never an attack we fight in our mind or with our words. Warfare is covenantal, always and only. In Hebrew, the word warfare is Tsavah and means a mass of persons especially or regularly organized for war, an army, a campaign, specifically hardship or worship, appointed time, service, or waiting upon, not combat with demons. This word shows up just 3 ways in the Old Testament. In 1 Samuel, Tsavah refers to a literal military campaign. In the text, the Philistines were organizing their army for war. That's the straightforward physical meaning of the word. In Psalm 46, Tsavah refers to Yahweh himself. Yahweh Tsavah, the Lord of hosts, the one who commands the ordered ranks. And even when the word is applied to Yahweh, it still has nothing to do with demons or invisible combat. But in Isaiah 40, Tsavah is used figuratively. Her warfare is accomplished, meaning her appointed hardship, her appointed service, her appointed time of judgment is complete. Same word, 3 expressions. Literal campaign, the one who commands the host, and appointed hardship, worship, or service. But never spiritual combat with demons. And when Israel experiences this word, it shows up in only 2 ways. First, as judgment. When Israel goes to war, it's not because demons attacked. It's because covenant was broken. Disobedience doesn't create spiritual battles. Disobedience creates consequences. War comes when Israel refuses to listen, when they turn aside, when they forget who they belong to. And the text is painfully consistent. When Israel breaks covenant, they lose. Warfare in this sense is not an attack. It's a verdict. It's a burden. It's an appointed hardship, a season of judgment that has run its course, not a battle. Next, as worship. When Israel keeps the covenant, when they honor the appointed times, when they walk in his ways, when they align with his voice, Elohim fights for them. They don't have to swing the sword, and they don't war in the spirit. Their obedience is the worship. Their alignment is the victory, because worship in Hebrew means obedience. Remember, Israel never wins because they fought harder. They win because they obeyed, which is worship. And when they worship, Yahweh Tsavah, the text says the same thing over and over. He will fight for you. Not with you, not through you, but for you. And this same understanding of warfare carries forward from the Old Testament into the letters of Paul. Not redefined, not spiritualized, and not turned into combat with invisible enemies. The language and meaning stays the same. Military metaphor describing service, assignment, obedience, or appointed hardship. Paul uses the Greek word strategia, the root for our English word strategy, in the same way the Old Testament uses Tsavah. When he uses military language, he's not teaching the community how to fight demons. He's defending the nature of his own ministry. In 1 Corinthians 9, he asks, who goes to war at his own charges? He's not talking about fighting demons. He's talking about appointed service, a soldier fulfilling his or her duty, supported in the work they've been given. In 2 Corinthians 10, he's responding to accusations, questions about his authority, his legitimacy, his calling, and the integrity of his work. So when he says the weapons of our warfare, he's not giving the church a spiritual combat manual. He's not talking about tools for defense or instruments for fighting demons. He's talking about credentials. He's defending the legitimacy of his apostolic ministry, the evidence of his appointed service, and the things that validate his call and his office, not weapons for invisible battles. And in 1 Timothy 1, that you may war a good warfare is not a call to fight spiritual beings. It's a call to faithfulness, to guard the teaching, to endure hardship, to stay aligned with the calling spoken over Timothy. Same word, same metaphor, same point of view. Warfare is service. Warfare is appointed hardship. Warfare is never combat with demons. The New Testament didn't change the meaning. We did. From Exodus to Joshua, from Judges to Kings, from the prophets to the New Testament, the pattern is unbreakable. broken. Disobedience leads to judgment. Obedience is worship. The battle is never spiritual combat. The battle is always covenant. And warfare is about judgment or service, not combat with demons. And when we understand the purpose of a thing, the fighting ends, the binding ceases, the imagined battles in realms of the unseen, all of it fades away because our understanding is now complete. Until next time, take a breath. Remember, the Bible names warfare in only 2 ways, and neither has anything to do with demons or invisible realms. And there we'll discover what warfare is not, where silence has something to say.